Alright, so this year has been another record-breaking year for India in terms of IPO, initial public offering. And today we'll be talking about another IPO launch which is very important and you should be paying attention to it because it is in the aerospace manufacturing industry. But before we dive into the IPO details, let's talk about the record which I mentioned. We as in India has crossed the last record of IPO offering collection, that was in 2021 and it was around 1.18 lakh crore. And this year in 2024 we have crossed 1.19 lakh crore in rupees. That is $14 billion. Now also let me mention that India's IPO fundraising has surpassed China, which has collected around $10.7 billion. But leading the chart is USA, who has raised around $23 billion in total with IPOs. Okay, coming back to the Indian share market, a lot has been happening and another IPO launch is on the way. That is in the aerospace industry sector. It is Unimech Aerospace and Manufacturing Limited, a cutting-edge player in the high-precision engineering industry. It's gearing up for its IPO launch on 23rd of December 2024 this year. And this IPO has got interest of a lot of investors, particularly those who are looking forward for the boom in the aerospace industry and defense industry as well. So in this video, we'll do a quick analysis of this IPO launch and I'll be telling you about the company Unimech Aerospace, about its performance, about its IPO details, about its business model and revenue streams. We will be discussing about the financial performance of the company. We will do a quick competitive analysis in the video along with the SWOT analysis, and we will also be discussing about few other important factors like GMP, grey market premium, valuation matrix, the PE ratio, price to earnings ratio, and finally we'll be doing a quick analysis on why you should be investing in this IPO or the company. So watch till the end for all the matrix in detail. Hello, hi once again, my name is Anupam Anand and you're watching Freedom English channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, please make sure to do that. And before we go ahead, please make sure to like the video. Drop your comments as well if you have any questions or queries. We would love to answer them. Now let's get back to the Unimech Aerospace, about the company, what it is into, what it is about, and we will have a quick overview about the company. So the company Unimech Aerospace was founded in 2016 and is headquartered in Bangalore, India. Bangalore, as we all know, the hub of aviation, defense, IT, and a lot more, including weather and beautiful parks and lakes. So the company specializes in high precision engineering tools manufactured by it for critical industries like aerospace, defense, semiconductors, and energy. So overall, if I have to understand, this company is dedicatedly manufacturing tools for the aviation, big flights and big aeroplanes, and no matter what the aviation industry is booming. I mean, whatever can be the reason, it can be war or it can be people flying from here to there. Okay, let's get into the operations of Unimech now. As I said, they are providing high precision tooling that is critical for aero engine and airframe manufacturing. The operations also includes mechanical assembly, wherein the complex components of the aircrafts or defense systems are manufactured. And in the next operations, we have electromechanical system, wherein they provide end-to-end turnkey systems for the aerospace and semiconductor industry as well. Okay, now let's have a quick look on the client list of Unimech. So as I can see, Unimech has global presence and extensive client list in US, Europe, UK, and even in India. The major customers of Unimech includes original equipment manufacturers, OEMs, and the other tier 1 suppliers in the aerospace or defense industry, such as Boeing, Rolls-Royce, and ISRO as well. So these are the major customers of Unimech manufacturing. Overall, if I have to talk about the reach of Unimech, it's quite popular, reaching out to US, Europe and UK, supplying their manufactured products in these countries and even supplying its precision tools in India like ISRO. So from this we can make out that the company's market position is really great and the company is trusted supplier for industries requiring extremely precise engineering, a sector that is with high entry barriers due to stringent quality and safety requirements. Okay, now let's quickly dive into the IPO details of the company. So the issue size is rupees 500 crore, including the fresh issue, that is 250 crore. Offer for sale is 250 crore. The price band would be rupees 740 to 785 per share. The face value is rupees 5 per equity share. The lot size happens to be 19 shares. And let me remind you the IPO dates. It opens on 23rd of December 2024 and closes on 26th of December 2024. The listing will be on BSE and NSE both, and the listing date has been decided as December 31st, 2024. So the purpose of this IPO is to of course raise fund and also to do the debt repayment, that is 150 crore, to reduce the financial leverage. The capacity expansion would be around rupees 80 crore for upgrading manufacturing facilities and the other general corporate purposes. Okay, now let's have a quick look at the business model and the revenue streams of the company. So Unimech operates totally into B2B, business to business model, providing precision engineering solutions to the clients in India and as well as global market. So its revenue can be divided into segments. We will talk about that. Number one, build to print services. Now under this, the company manufactures products only as per client's specifications. Whatever the client would say that you have to do this and I want this, they will do that. That is called build to print services. The number two is build to specification services. So the company develops solutions tailored as per the client's requirement, including design and prototyping. And number three is proprietary products. Under this, the company develops the high margin components for aerospace applications in the house itself. So overall, the revenue diversification we can see here in the chart. So the revenue from aerospace manufacturing comes around 65%. The revenue from the defense manufacturing comes around 20%. And the revenue from energy and semiconductors comes around 15%. So this diversification reduces dependency on a single industry and helps mitigate risk from clinical downturns. So this diversification, what we see here, is actually good. It is not relied on only one particular sector. It is diversified into semiconductors, into energy, into aerospace manufacturing, and that's a very important point to note as an investor's perspective. Now let's talk about the financial performance of this company from past few years. We'll be comparing it with the other companies as well. Now let's have a quick look at this chart here. The fiscal year 2021 to 2022, the revenue was around 37.21 crore. The profit after tax was 3.21 crore. The net profit margin went up to 8.6%. The earnings per share was 0.78 rupee. The next year, 2022 to 2023, they had the revenue of 95.95 crore. Profit after tax was 23.54 crores. The net profit margin was 24.5% and earnings per share was 5.67. It grew. And now in fiscal year 2023-24, the revenue went up to 214.56 crore. The profit after tax was 58.76 crore. The net profit margin went up to 27.4% and earnings per share was recorded as 13.23 rupee. So the key highlights from this chart is we see 124% of CAGR growth from the fiscal year 2021-2022 to fiscal year 23-24. It grew by 124%. The compound annual growth rate went up to by 124%. That's huge. Okay, now the net profit margin also improved significantly, indicating better operational efficiency. Also, the EPS growth reflects the trust of shareholders in the company. Alright, now let's do a quick competitive analysis for the company, comparing it with the other competitors in the market. So in this chart, we'll be comparing Unimech with the other key players in the same sector like MTAR Technologies, we have Paras Defense here, and Dynamatic Tech. So now if we compare Unimech with the other companies here, as you can see in the chart, you see that the revenue of Unimech has been quite competitive as compared to the other peers like MTAR Technologies is at 540, but Paras Defense is at 216. Whereas Dynamatic Tech has been doing really well, crossing over 1,200 crores. The PE ratio for Unimech is 59.34. The return on net worth percentage of Unimech is 53.53%. And of course, as we discussed, the focused area of Unimech is into high precision engineering. Now let's compare these numbers with the other giants in the same field. We have MTAR Technologies, whose revenue is 540 crore, PE ratio is 71.2. The return on net worth is 47.3%. And MTAR is into aerospace, nuclear energy as well. And let's not forget, MTAR technology started in the year 1970. Okay, now next we have Paras Defense. The numbers are there on the screen. Revenue of 216 crore. The P ratio for this company is 85. The return on net worth is 19.5. And this company focuses majorly on defense optics and electronics as well. We also have Dynamatic Tech that was founded in the year 1973. And the revenue of this company is over 1,200 crores. The P ratio is 32. The return on net worth is 12 and its focused area is into aerospace and automotive. So overall, Unimech Aerospace seems to be a quite good competitor, showing good numbers over here with its competitors. Okay, now quickly let's get into the SWOT analysis of the company, the strength, the weakness, the opportunities it has, and the threats as well. Now let's talk about the strengths first, the high entry barriers. The company has expertise in high precision engineering with stringent quality certifications, AS9100D. Another strength to add is the diverse clientele of this company, which even crosses the boundary of India and goes global. It has long-term contracts with the global aerospace OEMs. Also talking about the operational efficiency, the company is doing really well. The profits are increasing year by year and the net worth is also increasing, showing good numbers. Now let's talk about the weaknesses of the company. That is the high valuation of the IPO. The IPO is priced at a premium compared to as its peers. Okay, so now talking about another weakness for the company is that its reliance on the aerospace industry. The aerospace industry, personally, I feel it's always on the booming side, but sometimes there are slowdowns, like the lockdown that happened during the pandemic, wherein the flights were cancelled, we were not flying, nobody was flying actually. So yeah, the industry faces some slowdowns sometimes depending on the situation. So it can be counted as a weakness for this IPO or the company. But the good part again is that it is relied on semiconductor and energy sectors as well. Now let's talk about the opportunities that are there for this company. Global defense spending, it's increasing day by day. The countries, different countries nowadays, even the smaller countries are spending more budgets on aerospace or aviation sectors. Semiconductor boom. So although India is a bit lagging behind in the chip manufacturing industry, but it can pace up and it will pace up. And here's the opportunity for this company as well in the semiconductor sector. Also now let's talk about the threats. The geopolitical risk. Okay, nowadays we see a lot of wars happening, export restrictions are there, trade conflicts are there. So yeah, that can possess a threat to the company, of course. Another threat is the technological disruption. So we all know that the 3D printing thing is quite a thing nowadays. And if the 3D printing technology goes really advanced, it can pose threat to companies like Unimech in terms of manufacturing tools. Okay, now let's also talk about the grey market premium, the GMP. As of December 18, 2024, the GMP for Unimech Aerospace IPO stands at approximately 350 per share, indicating strong investor interest and potential listing gains over 44% on the upper price band. The valuation matrix. Now let's quickly get into the valuation matrix, that is price to earnings, the PE ratio 59.34 times at the upper price band. The return on net worth stands on 53.53%, impressive for the industry. The debt to equity ratio is reduced from 1.2 times in fiscal year 2021-2022 to 0.8 times in the fiscal year 2023 to 2024. Okay, now before going ahead, please make sure if you still don't know about the PE ratio, the price to earning ratio, RONW, return on net worth, if you don't know anything about the terms like debt to equity ratio, please make sure to go ahead and watch this video. We'll be putting the link in the description as well about PE ratio. And there are multiple other videos. There are dedicated courses on the Freedom website or the Freedom app. Please make sure to download the Freedom app. Only for $399, you get access to 10 plus courses in finance, farming and business. So why not start learning from today, have a better understanding and then start investing. After all this analysis, now let's do a quick overview on why you should be investing your money into this IPO. Number one, it shows strong financial growth and profitability. Number two, expanding global aerospace industry and the defense markets. Number three point to be considered is the high net worth of the company, reflecting efficient capital use. Okay, now let's talk about the risk to be considered. The premium valuation may limit the short-term upside, and the vulnerability to the global economic cycles can also be considered as a risk. But overall, in conclusion, I would say this IPO is quite a thing to look upon and have a thought about it. But before you invest, make sure to go through all the details of the company and the analysis which I gave it to you, and then make your decision based on your intellect and your smartness. So overall, in conclusion, I would say the aerospace industry, the aviation industry, the defense industry is booming. We see a lot of flights daily going up and down everywhere, and hopefully this IPO would do good and the company would be doing really good in the next coming years as well. All the best to the company and all the best to the people who are looking forward to buy this IPO. Please make sure to invest smartly, and if you have any questions or queries, please make sure to get in touch with us. Drop your comments. Make sure to like the video if you haven't yet and subscribe the channel. See you in the next one. Thank you.